Good afternoon. Welcome to Channel 44. I am Mercy Gashegu Sembatia to bring you this afternoon's news in brief. I'll be joined by Livingstone Kawesi for sign language interpretation and translation. Rwanda's government has walked back on President Paul Kagame's stand that the country will no longer offer refuge to people fleeing from the conflict in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Mr. Kagame had said refugees fleeing across the border into Rwanda were not Rwanda's problem. He said that he is refusing that Rwanda should carry this burden. But in a statement last night, government spokesperson Yolande Makolo said Rwanda had no intention to expel or ban refugees. She accused the media of misrepresenting President Paul Kagame's remarks. He said what the president addressed was the blatant hypocrisy in criticizing Rwanda, which simultaneously gets to blame for the state failure in the DRC and is then expected to accommodate those who seek refuge from the consequences of that failure. In Ethiopia, the spokesman for the rebel Tigrayan forces in northern Ethiopia says they have handed over their heavy weapons in line with the ceasefire agreement signed in South Africa in November. Getachew Reda wrote on Twitter that the transfer had been confirmed by an African Union monitoring and verification team. The move is central to the agreement, along with services being restored in the war-torn region, while hundreds of thousands of people were killed. Another condition is the withdrawal of Eritrean soldiers who fought alongside the Ethiopian government. Reports from Tigray suggest the troops are still there. Moving on, Greece's last king, Constantine.
And lift him up and worship him in your own words. Just lift your voice and worship him in your own words. He's the glory of the nations. We worship him today.
Staff. Constantine II ascended to the throne in 1964 during a turbulent period in Greek history that culminated into a military coup 3 years later. He was soon forced to flee abroad following an unsuccessful counter-coup. The monarchy was abolished in 1973. Constantine II was later stripped of his Greek citizenship. Peru's top prosecutor has launched an inquiry into President Dina Boluarte and key ministers over weeks of clashes that have left dozens of people dead. The officials are being investigated on charges of genocide, qualified homicide, and serious injuries. Violence erupted after ex-President Pedro Castillo was arrested in December for trying to dissolve Congress. On Monday, 17 people died in clashes between Castillo supporters and security forces in southeastern Peru. Dozens more were injured in the city of Juliaca in what was the worst day of violence so far. Many of the victims had gunshot wounds. In Europe, Ukrainian troops will receive training on the Patriot missile system in the U.S. state of Oklahoma, according to American officials. Around 90 to 100 soldiers will arrive from Ukraine at base Fort Sill as soon as next week, according to the confirmation from Pentagon. The training at Fort Sill, where U.S. artillery troops also train, is expected to take several months. Ukraine has said the advanced missile defense system will be a game changer in the war with Ukraine. Once fielded, the Patriot will contribute to Ukraine's air defense capabilities and provide another capability to the Ukrainian people to defend themselves against Russia's ongoing aerial assaults, according to Pentagon spokesman Pat Ryder in a report that was released yesterday. Brazil's judicial authorities have ordered the arrest of top public officials after rioters stormed key government buildings in Brasilia. One official, the former commander of the military police, has been arrested, according to reports from local media. The officials also include Brasilia's former public security chief Anderson Torres and others responsible for acts and omissions leading to riots, according to the Attorney General's office. Mr. Torres denies any role in the riots. Colonel Fabio Augusto The police commander was dismissed from his role after supporters of ex-President Jair Bolsonaro stormed Congress, the Presidential Palace, and the Supreme Court. In the United States, the gated community of Encore Resort in Kissimmee, Florida, is filled with rows of clean-cut gray homes and palm trees. Normally a placid place, it has been anything but quiet the last few weeks. Since the end of December, one of the nearly cookie-cutter identical houses has been occupied by a man of great international interest. The ex-Brazilian president Jair Bolsonaro left the country and made his way last month to the picturesque Florida resort near Disney World, where he said he was visiting family and friends. The right-wing leader was also said to have escaped to Florida to avoid having to hand over his title to his successor, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, who won October's elections. And moving on, President Joe Biden has said he was surprised to learn in November that classified files had been found at his former private office. He said that he does not know what's in the documents, indicating his lawyers had advised him not to ask about the contents. The papers discovered at the Penn Biden Center in Washington reportedly contain briefings on foreign countries. A Republican congressional committee says it will investigate. The oversight panel is concerned that President Biden has compromised intelligence sources, according to its chairman, James Conner. And finally, in the United Kingdom, Prince Harry has said claims he boasted in his new book about killing 25 Taliban fighters while on duty in Afghanistan are a dangerous lie. The prince has been criticized for discussing killings in Spare with military figures, saying it was wrong to refer to the dead as chess pieces. But on US TV, Harry accused the press of taking his words out of context and said the spin endangered his family. He also defended his remarks, saying he had wanted to reduce veteran suicide. Spare, which was published yesterday, has become the fastest-selling non-fiction book ever in the United Kingdom. Well, that brings us to the end of this afternoon's News in Brief. Thank you for watching Channel 44. Pastor Jessica Kayanja is coming on right up. There is going to be also graduation of Bible College students today, tomorrow, and on Friday. Please tune in and watch the remarks made by the Chancellor of the Bible College, Pastor Robert Kayanja. Stay tuned to Channel 44. God bless you.